The first update we have today is Alexis Bellino's recent, pretty critical remarks about her former Real Housewives of Orange County castmates, Shannon and Gretchen Rossi. So this really illuminates the ongoing drama, the fallout and these long-standing grudges within the OC franchise. Alexis is basically defending her new marriage and, well, she had some harsh things to say about the other ladies' storylines. She talked about that feud between Gretchen Rossi and Tamra Judge, the one that's been going on for years. Alexis pointed out that, hey, she, Vicky Gunvalson, and Tamra, they've all managed to talk things out and move past their own issues. But Gretchen? Alexis thinks Gretchen can't let it go because her husband, Slade Smiley, supposedly has it out for Tamra. Remember Tamra suggested Slade was a deadbeat dad way back when? Yeah, that. And then she really went after Shannon Bedore. Alexis called Shannon a B word and said she's just obsessed with Alexis's now husband, John Jansen. She argued Shannon keeps bringing them up simply because she has no storyline of her own. Ouch. Regarding that lawsuit, John Jansen suing Shannon for $75,000, which Shannon ended up settling, Alexis stood by it. She basically said Shannon settling proves she knew she'd lose because, quote, we have the evidence. Alexis framed it as just standing up for her man and supporting him getting money he was owed, adding Shannon's been caught on video being a monster. Before we get into the next update, please make sure you've liked this video and subscribed to this channel. Okay, then, let's move on to next update now.
Okay. Next, we are going to talk about Jennifer Aydin and what looks like her departure from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So, Jennifer has been on RHNJ for 6 seasons, right? She joined way back in 2018 for season 9. Well, recently she was promoting her new podcast on Instagram and kind of confirmed she hasn't actually been asked back for the next season, season 15. She made it pretty clear, producers haven't directly told her she's out. But not getting an invite to BravoCon and hearing whispers about them test filming, yeah, she's reading between the lines and figures she's likely not returning. Jennifer even suggested this might be the new way the network handles firings, just kind of moving on without saying anything directly. She called it awkward. Now, this whole situation follows that pretty big backlash she faced a few months ago. Remember the incident at Jersey Mike's, where she got called out for shaming an elderly worker? That even got Andy Cohen talking. But hey, Jennifer seems ready to move forward. She said she's grateful for the whole RHNJ journey. Now she's focusing on her new podcast. It's called TV Gold, and it sounds like it's going to cover pop culture, entertainment, fashion, wellness, beauty, stuff beyond the housewives world. So this was today's update about Jennifer Aydin's apparent departure from RHNJ and her new podcast plans. Let's now move on to the next update.
Who's the biggest douchebag in Bravo universe?
Okay, next we are going to talk about Andy Cohen's revealing rapid-fire session on Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy podcast. He really dished on, the biggest hits, misses, and feuds across the whole Bravo network. So get this. For Best Recent Casting, Andy picked Stacey Rush from The Real Housewives of Potomac. And the hottest husband? Also Potomac, Bobby Massey, who's married to the new housewife, Angel Massey. When it came to the most iconic Bravo moment ever, Andy went with Luann de Lesseps' classic line, "We got the yacht," from RHONY. But, there was also the one that got away. He confirmed it was Erica Reed, L.A. Reid's wife. Apparently, L.A. just wasn't keen on being on RHONY, so it didn't happen. Now, onto the drama. He called out the feud between Gretchen Rossi and Tamra Judge on The Real Housewives of Orange County as the most drawn out and pettiest. I mean, they're apparently still arguing about stuff some 15 years ago. Andy also kind of hedged when asked if someone was lying about that whole season 4 naked wasted thing with Gretchen, just saying he was unclear. Then he got personal. When asked which husband he'd throw a drink at, Jim Marchese, from that one season of RHONJ. And brace yourself for this one. He named himself as the biggest douchebag on Bravo. On a lighter note, his favorite Bravo-Leb song is Candiace Dillard Bassett's Drive Back, though he loves Sheena Shea's Good as Gold too. And finally, if he needed a cellmate, he'd pick Karen Huger over Jen Shah. Smart choice, maybe? So this was today's update about Andy Cohen's recent Bravo revelations. Let's now move on to the next update.
Next, we are going to talk about the latest drama surrounding leaked information on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So, this really kicked off in a recent episode, right? We saw cast members Heather Gay and Whitney Rose going back and forth, trying to figure out who leaked some legal info about Bronwyn Newport. The stuff about alleged past charges of grand theft and identity theft. Well, on the show, Whitney really pointed out this pattern. She basically said, every time Lisa Barlow's mad at someone,
information leaks about them. And she listed names: Angie Katzenevas, herself, Bronwyn, Mary Cosby, and Meredith Marks. Then Heather Gay jumped right in, saying she absolutely believes Lisa's the one behind the leak about Bronwyn. Heather even described Lisa as smarter and darker than any of us imagine, and mentioned how Lisa keeps a, quote, scorecard and gathers intel, like talking to Emma, the jeweler back in New York. But here's where it gets interesting. The Instagram blogger Bravo Boo, who actually first shared that alleged legal news about Bronwyn, they came out and denied Lisa leaked it. Yeah, Bravo Boo put it out there saying they were the first to post it and nobody leaked it. And they specifically said, Lisa Barlow never leaked anything to me about Bronwyn. I found it on my own. So kind of throws a wrench in the whole on-screen theory, huh? So this was today's update about the RHOSLC leak controversy. Let's now move on to next update.
Next, we are going to talk about Kiki Monique's recent revelations regarding the ongoing Roofie rumor storyline from the Real Housewives of Orange County. Right, so you remember that really long-standing rumor, the one where Gretchen Rossi supposedly claimed she was drugged, maybe even hospitalized, after that infamous naked wasted moment with Tamra Judge? Yeah, like 15 years ago in season 4. Well, things got stirred up again. Kiki Monique went on Sirius XM's Andy Cohen Live with Shannon Bedore and Andy, right? And she dropped some major tea. She claims Katie Janela told her about Gretchen supposedly being drugged. But here's the kicker. Kiki says she wasn't the only one who heard Katie say this at that lunch. Apparently, there was a second person there, too, who also heard the whole Roofie rumor directly from Katie. So Kiki's point is, if Katie denies it, she's basically calling two people liars now. Though Kiki isn't naming names yet. Shannon Bedore chimed in, saying, yeah, she and others had heard stuff like this too over the years, but she seemed kind of worried about how the story's changing, especially with maybe Shiana Shea getting involved and Katie taking it to like the next level by talking about supposed toxicology reports. And both Shannon and Andy, who's 57, were immediately like, hold up. They basically said if there were actual tox reports, come on, that would have been a huge deal litigated at the reunion back then, right? And they know for sure that just didn't happen. So this was today's update about the ongoing RHOC Roofie rumor controversy. Let's now move on to next update.
Next, we are going to talk about the rumors of a reconciliation between Hudson McElroy and Ariana Bierman. Okay, so Hudson McElroy recently headed back to New York City, right? This is after he moved to Atlanta following his split from Ariana Bierman. Just to recap, Ariana announced their breakup back on October 14th. Then, like the very next day, October 15th, Hudson put out his own statement saying he still loved her. So him showing up back in NYC has got everyone talking. People are wondering, is he rejoining the cast of Next Gen NYC for Season 2, because they're filming right now? And more importantly, are he and Ariana getting back together? Well, things got really interesting on October 29th. Hudson posted some stuff on his Instagram story. Apparently, the site Bravo and Cocktails grabbed a screenshot showing him back in the city. But then they suggested Hudson also shared this picture of hands holding a fancy bottle of 2013 Opus 1 wine. And here's the kicker. People quickly pointed out that the nails in that photo, the black tips and that specific design on the middle finger, look exactly like Ariana's nails in her recent videos. So, yeah, this whole drama is playing out while Next Gen NYC is filming Season 2. If they are back together, you can bet we'll probably see it all go down when the season drops on Bravo, likely in 2026. It's kind of funny because Ariana's mom, Kim Zolciak, she insisted earlier that they didn't break up just for the plot of the show. We'll see. So this was today's update about Hudson and Ariana's rumored reconciliation. Let's now move on to next update.
Next, we are going to talk about the latest updates from Terry Dubrow, where he addresses rumors about his marriage to Heather Dubrow and reveals new details about his feud with Jillian Michaels. Okay, so this really centers on Dr. Terry Dubrow setting the record straight, both about his personal life and this pretty intense professional disagreement that actually pushed him to take a very specialized exam. So first off, Terry tackled those persistent cheating rumors from 2022 about his marriage to Heather. He did this on the Boyfriend Material with Harry Jowsey podcast. He specifically clarified the whole story behind those pictures of him and Heather, like hugging it out at Disneyland that popped up right after the rumors. Terry explains they were absolutely not staged to distract from anything. What was really going on? They were celebrating. They just sold their house for a massive $55 million, and the money had just gone hard in escrow. So yeah, they were feeling pretty good. He notes, though, that the accusation they did stage the photos by calling the paparazzi, that actually became a whole storyline on The Real Housewives of Orange County. Then, the conversation also depicts Terry's ongoing feud with Jillian Michaels, the personal trainer. Right, so this feud apparently started last year. It was after Jillian shared her thoughts, saying she believed the weight loss drug Ozempic was concerning and theorized we'd see major fallout from it in like 2 years. Terry, being a plastic surgeon, responded by suggesting maybe people shouldn't take medical advice from a personal trainer. Ouch. And here's where it gets kind of wild. Terry then illuminates just how far he went because of this disagreement. To basically preempt Jillian ever claiming he was just a plastic surgeon and didn't really understand obesity treatment, Terry buckled down, studied for, and actually took the American Board of Obesity Medicine certification exam. All just to prove his point. He admitted it was a pretty nerdy move, but wow. So this was today's update about Terry Dubrow's recent revelations regarding his marriage and medical qualifications. Let's now move on to next update.
Next, we're going to talk about the finale recap of The Real Housewives of Orange County. So, the Amsterdam trip wraps up, right? And it starts with some really emotional moments. But oh boy, it doesn't take long for things to devolve. We're talking accusations flying about social media hate. And then, this huge revelation that someone in the cast was leaking details about the whole season to bloggers. Wild. Okay, so first in Amsterdam, we see this really touching scene where Heather gets to scatter our father's ashes in a canal. It happened after this unexpected, kind gesture where the current owner let her tour her parents' old home. Just a really cathartic moment for her. But then, evening rolls around and the drama kicks in. Shannon confronts the ladies about some body-shaming stuff, specifically pointing out Emily's comment about her being like a can of biscuits. Yikes. The real firestorm ignites, though, when Gina brings up these screenshots. Apparently, Tamra gave them to her, and they supposedly show Gretchen liking some anti-LGBTQ+ posts online. Gretchen's response? Kinda questionable. She says she may have scrolled quickly and liked things. Heather, understandably, is horrified, reminding Gretchen how serious this is, especially for queer youth. Gretchen denies she meant any hate and seems genuinely blindsided by it all. But then, after the trip, things get even murkier. Gina admits she actually couldn't find any current posts that Gretchen had liked, so she starts wondering, did Tamra, who'd apparently held on to this screenshot for a year, maybe doctor it or plant the story? Emily even points out, hey, smearing Gretchen without doing your homework isn't right. And then comes the absolute bombshell. Jen, Shannon Bador, and Gina get this message from a source revealing inside info that only someone on the inside would know. And this source alleges that Tamra has been leaking details about the entire season to bloggers, stuff that hadn't even aired yet. Gina feels totally betrayed, believing Tamra just used her to go after Gretchen. And Jen? Well, she calls Tamra one of the most calculated, scary people within this friend group.